Okay. For today, we are going to talk about the structure of the atom. This is one of the most important topics. Why? Because this is the basis for chemistry. Yani if you understand what's an atom, how is the atom formed, how does it look like, if you understand everything related to atom, this means already you understand everything related to chemistry. Because atom, here smallest unit. Since I'm going to understand what's an atom, so I can understand what's found inside the atom, and then I can understand the bonds, how do atoms bond. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be very positive if you understand well what we are going to say about the atom. But what I'm going to talk about in this topic for today, I'm going to talk about what's an atom, the structure for the atom, and I'm going to talk about the isotopes. I'm going to talk about the particles, or I'm going to talk about the particles or the bodies that are found inside my atom. If I'm going to talk about the atom as a start, okay, if I'm going to start, would you please best mute if you don't mind? Please, all of you best mute so that you can hear me. If you have any question, you just raise your hand or write it in the chat, please. Once I will finish, I will answer all the questions. Let's start. Bismillah. First of all, I'm going to talk about the atom. The atom is the smallest unit for any matter. Yani if I'm having, let's say, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is formed of what? One carbon atom with two oxygen atoms. So this means the smallest unit is atom. The smallest one, يعني two atoms of oxygen, one atom of carbon, it forms carbon dioxide. Same exactly like if I'm having a building. A building is formed of what? It's formed of bricks. Brick with a brick with a brick with a brick, it's going to form a wall. If I have 2 or 3 walls, I have a room. If I have more than one room, I have a floor. Then I have a building. So this is the point. Exactly, Yanuri. This means it's the building units, as exactly like in the brick. It's the building unit for the wall or for the building. My atom here, the building unit for any compound or any element. طيب. For today, I'm going to jump كده inside an atom. Let's take a journey inside our beautiful atom to see what's found inside. Yalla bina. Let's start. First of all, are we gonna do yes, ya Abdullah? Yes, we're gonna do. Okay, type. First of all, for any atom, what do we have in the middle of any atom? Any atom is going to be in the middle. I'm going to have what? What's found in the middle of any atom? Yes, Christine.
Protons and neutrons.
That's true. Protons and neutrons, they are found in something called what?
Nucleus.
That's nucleus. Exactly, bravo. That's called nucleus. Yeah, but I have nucleus. This nucleus, it's found, this is the center of any atom. Yeah, but if I have any atom, what's found inside, ya Muhammad? The nucleus. The nucleus is having exactly. The nucleus is having, the nucleus is having 2 types of bodies. What are these 2 types of bodies? Number 1, it have protons. Well, number 2, it have neutrons. Yeah, usually for any atom, it has a nucleus inside this, in the center of the atom. It has protons, it has neutrons, it has both inside the body, inside the nucleus. 2 types of bodies. Type. What's the difference between protons and neutrons? The charge of the protons is a positive charge. And we
positive one.
Exactly. It will be a positive charge. What about the neutrons, ya Kunuz? The neutrons is always negative. يبقى the neutral, the neutrons all the time it is negative. Yes, dear. Yes.
Neutrons neutral.
Neutrons. I'm sorry. أنا while I'm writing I thought إن أنا I wrote here electron. I'm sorry. As I was looking at the chat بصراحة. Can I ask you best a favor? If you can write at the chat at the end, if you have a question at the end, because now I was checking the chat, that's why I wrote. Yes, that's true. Since we have protons, yes, correct. The ones who answer in the chat, that's correct. Thank you so much. But if you can wait, but once I will finish, I will check the chat. If I'm asking about, it's coming from the word itself. Neutrons, it means in هم neutral. What do I mean by neutral? يعني they don't have any charge, no charge. Okay, Yahya?
So they are pH?
Excuse me? The protons all the time, they are positive.
They are pH?
What do I mean by pH? What do you mean? protons are positive. Yes, yeah, Abdullah, that's true. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so if I'm going to talk about protons are always positive. Usually remember in the protons are positive, both of them starts with P. طيب, in neutrons they are always neutral. What do I mean by neutral? يعني they have no charge. They are neither positive nor negative. ولا positive ولا negative. هم neutral charge. طب what about my electrons? My electrons all the time they are negatively charged. Exactly. They are negatively charged. So if I'm going to talk about the atom, any atom as unusual, مثلا, if I'm talking about sodium, it has 11 electron. You are going to find in the sodium, it have 11 electron, وبرضه at the same time, it has 11 proton. يعني this means يا أروى in the both of them are equal. The number of electrons and the number of protons for any atom, please, بس ممكن نعمل mute if you don't mind. For any atom, the number of electrons and the number of protons are always equal, all the time. Yani if I'm talking about sodium, it has 11 electrons, also it has 11 protons, both are equal. If I'm talking about aluminium, it has 13 electrons with 13 protons, and so on. Usually the number of electrons, which is a negatively charged body, is equal to the number of protons, which is a positively charged body. Yani this means in all the time they are equal. طب can I say إنه the atom is neutral as a whole بقى? Yes, that's true for the ones who answer in the chat. Can I say إنه sodium or aluminium or magnesium, any atom is always neutral? Why neutral? يعني when I write sodium, I'm not going to write up plus. I'm not going to write up minus. Why? I'm going to write just sodium. Why it's neutral? عشان usually the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. يعني the number of positively charged دايما قد the number of negatively charged. يعني مثلا let's say لو كان عندها 10 protons يعني 10 positive. خلينا نقول 5 1 2 3 4 5. If it have 5 positive هي برضو at the same time هي عندها 5 negative. فsince ان the positive charge equal to the negative charge, that's why I'm going to say A. Since in the both of them they are equal to each others, that's why I'm going to say
neutral.
Okay, that's why I'm going to say it is neutral, because the positive charge it's equal to the negatively charged. Easy?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, that's good. Right, let's continue. Yes, Yanuri. Okay. Then what we are going to say now, ya Kunuz, if the atom is always neutral, why it's neutral? Because the number of electron, وخلي بالكم, if you are asked this question in the exam, why all the atoms, or why sodium atom, or why magnesium atom is neutral, you have to say, Yaruna, because the number of negative charge electrons are equal to the positively charged protons. That's why it is neutral. Fine. What about the movement? Which one of them is moving, which one is not? Check it out with me. This is the electron, this is the proton, and this is the neutron. If you check, you see which one is very light. That's why it's all the time moving.
The electron.
Exactly. I'm going to find the أحلام إنه all the time electrons are إيه. واو يا نوري والله أنت اللي واو. All the time I'm going to say إنه electrons, you see, all the time rotating. They are rotating very quickly. Why? Because they're very light. But what about the neutrons and protons بقى? Are they going to be moving like the electrons? لا. لأنه this one very light. لكن the protons and neutrons they have mass. لا دول تقال دول. But they are not going to move like the electron. So when I ask you, where is the mass concentrated inside the atom? I'm not talking about charge now. I'm talking about the mass.
Nucleus.
Exactly, bravo. That's true. All the mass is concentrated in the nucleus. طب يعني if I ask you the mass number of any element, let's say مثلا sodium. The mass number of sodium is 23. يبقى ال 23 دي adding مين ومين together?
Protons and neutrons.
That's true. Why? عشان احنا we said ان كل الماس concentrated inside the nucleus. All the electrons are very light. Since the electrons are very light, all the mass is concentrated inside the nucleus, يبقى that's why I'm going to find in usually the mass number اللي هو big number for any element, this is adding protons plus neutrons. But what about the electrons? لا, electrons are very light. Very light. طيب, let's see. Check with me. طبعا for sure this is the periodic table, because many students they ask me where are metals, where are non-metals. These group 1 metal, group 2 metals, group 3
metals.
Exactly.
Group 1 alkali metals.
Exactly, group 1 alkali metal. That's true. What's in the middle? These are transition metals. فبرضه they are metals. This area بس هم دول non-metals. Okay, because many students are asking me, Miss, how can I know in this is a metal or this is a non-metal in the periodic table? You can know it from the periodic table. Okay, طيب. This bar is very important. This table is many times in the exam. Many times you will see it in the exam. He's going to give you what? He will give you the table, and he is going to ask you what is the masa. Let's say he will give you group 1 with 2, 3. Exactly, that's true. He's going to give you, let's say, the mass. He will ask you what's the mass for the proton, and he is going to give masa, let's say, what's the charge for the electron, what's the charge for the neutron, and so on. And he is going to give you some points in the table, with the other points you have to answer it by your own. That's why we have to understand all this. If I ask you about the charge, this is the easiest point. Thank you so much. Why? Yes, ya Abdullah. Yes, Abdullah.
بس مش الماس تبع الإلكترون 1 على 1840.
That's true. You can say 1 over 1837. You can say 1 over 1840 or 1 over 2000. The only answer that is not accepted, 0. Why? Because if it is a body, we can never say and it doesn't have a mass. This is the only. Yes.
It will also ask about the relative atomic mass or what?
Excuse me? Relative atomic mass, we are going to talk about it later. Here I'm just talking about the mass, relative mass, yes. So the mass, you can say 1 over, everything on earth has a mass. Exactly, that's true. Even if it is a small mass, at least there is a mass. Since it's a body, you can say it, you have to say it has a mass. You can say 1 over 2000, you can say 1 over 1840, you can say 1 over 1837. All these are correct, no problem. طيب, يبقى again, Ya Abdullah, if I ask you what's the charge, you are going to say if it's a proton, so it's a +1. If it is an electron, so it is -1, because we said that the proton are always positive, while electrons are always negative. That's why it's -1. When neutron, طبعا neutral, no charge. طيب, if I ask you, this is for the charge. طيب, if I ask you about the mass, we said which one has mass, which one doesn't have a mass, أو low mass يعني. البروتون والنيوترون, as we said, in the mass of the atom concentrated inside my nucleus. Since in the mass of the atom concentrated inside the nucleus, يبقى this means in the protons والنيوترons هم اللي usually ليهم mass. لكن الالكترون لا, electrons they are very light. The mass can be neglected. مش can be neglected, it's small mass يعني, I mean small mass. Okay, so please study this table very well. Many times we are going to find this question. Exactly, Nouri. Good job. طيب. Let's continue. Here بقى يا Luna, I'm going to write the element itself. In any periodic table, you are going to find, first of all, the symbol. Okay, whatever, hydrogen, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, helium. So please, 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 never write for me like this. This is this is not helium. Huh? This is this is not helium. So please, the first letter must be a capital letter. The second letter, can I also say 1 over 1840? Yes, ya Kunuz, that's true. Yes, Justina, what do you want to ask?
What is the unit of the mass? Is it milligram or micrograms?
Yeah, it's a very small unit, but say usually in grams, but it's a very small unit. We are not going to be asked about the units because it's a very small one, but usually in grams. But for this one, we measure it by something called AMU, atomic mass unit. But the mass in general with grams. In chemistry, yeah. Relative mass comparing mass of the atom. Exactly, Abdullah. But we are going to take a relative atomic mass once we start, when we take, inshallah, stoichiometry after the bonds. So let's continue. For helium, as I said, please, 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 whenever any element you want to write, you have to write if it is one letter, you have to write it as a capital letter. If it is 2 letters, you have to write the first letter capital with second letter small. I cannot tell you how many students they write for me magnesium like this in the exam, and like this. This is not magnesium. This is wrong. You have to write magnesium as a big letter, or capital letter. Okay, uppercase. Exactly بالظبط. طيب, next, in any element in the periodic table, you are going to find 2 numbers. All the elements in the periodic table. Well, I want to tell you something, Kamin. Please, whenever you are taking our class, okay, please try to prepare all the time. Keep with you a periodic table all the time. It's going to help a lot, especially in the coming topics.
Yes, I always have it on it.
Yani I really appreciate the students that all the time they are ready. All the time in our class, they are having a notebook to write any notes. They are having the periodic table so that they can check any element. Once I say, what's مثلا the atomic number of helium, you will say, you got my point? It will really make a difference. Something else, if you want to print a periodic table, please, once you go to the Google, to download it from Google, don't just write periodic table, because periodic tables are different. Write the IGCSE, and you have to say no, IGCSE or Cambridge periodic table. Don't just download any periodic table, because there is, yes, it's not that different, but there is a difference between them. We already learned first 20 elements. That's good, Yaruri. I could send it in the group. No, I'm just saying, thank you, Yaruna, wallahi, thank you so much. We can send it in the group, but I mean, it's better to take care. Sometimes two weeks ago, I was making the quiz in school, and one student in my school, he got different. We were talking about moles, and he got different answers. Okay. Well, by the way, he's excellent. All the students I'm having grade 10, most of them, they are really excellent. So I was surprised why the answers are wrong. And I checked the steps were right. What was the problem? The problem was, he used another periodic table different than the IGCSE periodic table. Okay, so please take care about the periodic table, because it really, sometimes it makes different answers. Okay, let's continue. For once, I'm having a big number and a small number. Which one is the big number? Which one is the small number? The big number is called mass number, with the small number is called atomic number. Why do I call it mass number? Mass number, it means you are going to add the protons plus the neutrons. You will add both together, because we said, thank you, Mohamed, so much. Thank you. So once I'm going to add the protons to the neutrons, you add them together. Once I add the protons to the neutrons, because we said before at the beginning, any atom, all the mass is concentrated inside the nucleus. So this means what's found inside my nucleus? Protons and neutrons. That's why I'm saying, when you add the protons and the neutrons, it will give you the mass number. Right. What about the small number? What's this? We call this atomic number. What does the atomic number mean?
Proton number.
I will say, Mohamed, I will say now. The small number, we call it proton number or atomic number. Atomic number, you can say here, proton number. It has 2 names, proton number or atomic number. What does this mean? Atomic number or proton number, it means, it is equal to the number of protons. This means in the helium, it has 2 electrons. As an example, it has also 2 protons. How many electrons are there here? 2. How many protons are there here? 2. Because the atomic number is 2. What about the mass number? This one. Is it having another name? Yes, it has another name. What is this name? Nucleon number. Sometimes I'm not going to call it mass number. Why I'm saying this? Because in the exam, thank you so much, Ya Abdullah. I really appreciate. Sometimes I'm going to say instead. Sometimes sometimes I'm going to say Nucleon number in the exam, or sometimes I'm going to say mass number. You got my point? Clear? both are correct. Mass
Yes,
number
miss.
correct, nuclear number correct. I was checking the chat. Some students were writing something. So mass number is correct, nuclear number is correct. Okay, we take care about the two names, please. Yani sometimes you call it here, sometimes they call it this. Okay, type. Yeah, but if I'm going to be asking in the exam, you mean the examiner? Yes, the past papers, yani, I mean Yanuri. The Hamad, I said the atomic mass اللي هو الماس number يا حمد. أي حاجة فيها mass تبقى mass number. Mass, you can say mass number أو atomic mass, it's the same. أو nuclear number. The three meanings the same. طيب, there is a question that all the time you will find in the exam. What's this question? Many times, yeah. It's a 2-mark question. He's going to ask you what's meant by proton number or atomic number. If he asks you, Ya Arwa, what's meant by atomic number or proton number, I have to say what, Ya Hamad? I have to say it's equal to what's meant by atomic number. هقول it is equal to the number of protons. Most of the students, they answer it like this. طيب, is it a full answer? No, Ya Runa, it's not a full answer.
And electrons.
No. اهو انت بقى لو كتبت and electron دي, all the question is wrong. You will lose the 2. I will tell you why. When I say, بص يعني مثلا let's say لو انا بقول I'm Nour, I'm going مثلا to the club. Me and Ali. يبقى this means ان Ali is going with me. So same here. When you say in an atomic number it's equal to protons and electron, يبقى this means انه proton plus electron. This is completely scientifically wrong. Never, never, never say and. Never. This is a very common mistake, especially in grade 9. Completely wrong. خلي بالك. Once I ask you what's meant by atomic number, هي ملهاش غير one definition only. All past papers. You are going to say it's equal to, no يا محمد. It's equal to number of protons in the nucleus of the atom. Don't write any other answers. No. This is the only answer. يبقى proton in the nucleus of the atom. Don't write بقى exactly. صح. Runa, Nuri, good job. So once I ask you what's meant by atomic number, you are going to say it means it is equal to the number of protons in the nucleus of the atom. لو انت قلت it is equal to the number of protons, you will take 1 mark. طيب, قلت the number of protons in the nucleus of the atom, يبقى you took the 2 marks. Like never to say it's equal to number of proton and electron, because proton and electron, it means you added them. So this is wrong. خلاص? Take care, please. طيب, what about the mass number? If he asks you what's meant by a mass number, what shall I say بقى يا كمال? If he asks you what's meant by mass number, hey Christine, tell me. Christina.
Mass number is the protons and neutrons in an atom, in the nucleus.
That's true, inside the nucleus of the atom. Thank you so much. Yeah, but I have to say it's equal to, yes, if someone is, yes, ya Kunuz. Yes, Kunuz, what do you want to say? Correct the answer.
I was wanting to answer.
It's fine, thank you, sweetheart. So once I'm going to say, bravo, Nuri, good job. Thank you for the ones who are writing in the chat. Thank you so much. But once I'm going to ask you the mass number, you are going to say it's equal to the sum of the proton and the neutrons. Where, ya Kamal? In the nucleus of the atom. You have to say that in the nucleus of the atom. Don't say protons and neutrons only. Please make it a full answer. We are you are an IG student. IG student, يعني, you're very accurate. Or you're supposed to be very accurate, yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Mass number or nuclear number is equal to the number of protons and neutrons and the nucleus of the.
That's true. Good job. يلا. طيب, what about, let's say hydrogen. If I'm going to get you questions like this كده in the exam, and I will tell you, أروى مثلا, let's say we will answer them now in the chat, all together now in the chat. I will give you مثلا hydrogen, or I will tell you how many electrons are there, how many protons are there, how many neutrons are there. You are going to check a small number all the time, electron. It's equal to برضو the protons. يبقى how many electrons do I have for hydrogen, or how many protons?
1.
Exactly, that's true. So I'm going to say 1 and 1. Right, to get the neutrons, what shall you do? What are you going to do? You are going to subtract the mass number minus the atomic number. All the time. You will subtract this one minus this one. That's true. You will tell me, Miss, how come? يعني when I have this question in the class, all of the students are confused. إيه ده miss? Is there an atom with no neutrons? Yes. This one day, this was a question in paper 2. They said, what is the only element in the periodic table that has no neutrons? So what's going to be my answer? Hydrogen. Exactly. طيب, someone may ask me, Miss, why did we subtract the mass number minus the atomic number? What's the reason?
Miss, may I?
Sure.
Well, because the mass number is the number of protons and electrons together, and the atomic mass number, and the mass number itself, or the atomic number itself, is number. I'm sorry, I'm confusing the.
No. It's totally fine. Complete.
And
Continue,
the atomic
please.
number. And the atomic number is the number of protons. So by subtracting the mass number from the atomic number, we're getting our neutron number.
Thank you so much. Good job. I'm sure 100% and no one is going to get it because, mashallah, you're excellent. You said it very quickly. That's true. Nouri correct. Kunus correct. I will repeat it again. We said in the mass number is equal to what? Protons plus neutrons. طيب, in this example, helium was the atomic number can 2. Yani this means in the protons were 2, while electrons were also 2. Well, please take care about something. Forget about which one is up, which one is down. The big number هو الماس number. Even if it was up, it was down, I don't care. But usually the big number هو الايه؟ الماس number. Usually the small number is the atomic number. You got my point? I don't care about is it up, is it down, this is not the point. All the time when you are having the big number, this is up, the small number, it's down, okay? Right. Let's continue. So once I'm going to say in the proton here is 2, as you see here, proton is 2. طيب, if both protons plus neutrons are equal to 4, well, protons alone is 2. يبقى if I want to get, this is math بقى. يبقى if I want to get miss how to know an element, I will tell you يا محمد حاضر. We will say it today يا محمد. So how can I get it? If I want to get it, if I want the neutrons, you will take this there on that side by the opposite charge. So it's going to be what? To get the neutrons, it's going to be 4 minus 2. So it's going to be what? 2. That's true. But that's all. It's going to be 2. But what did you do? You subtract a big number minus a small number in one step. Okay? Good job. لا مش algebra قوي يعني. It's easy يا نوري يعني. This is simple math. يلا, let's do it. Okay? طيب, let's do boron. How many electrons? يلا, write for me in the chat. How many protons? How many neutrons? Good job. Good job. Wait, يبقى electrons you are going to choose. Electrons you are going to choose the small number. So I'm going to say 5. Well, protons also 5. If I want to get the neutrons, you will subtract this one minus this one. So it will be what? It will be 6. Good job. Bravo. طيب. What about this one? Oxygen. How many electrons are there? How many protons are there? How many neutrons are there? Good job. Bravo. يبقى I'm going to say 8 and 8 because the small number is equal to 8. It's equal to the small number. Well, the proton and electron both are 8 because it's equal to the small number. طب how I get the neutrons? You subtract the big number minus the small number, so it's also 8, and so on. طيب, what about sodium? How to get sodium? يلا, let's do it. How many electrons? How many protons? How many neutrons? Yes, sure.
There is 11 electrons.
Good job.
And 11 protons.
Good job.
And we subtract 23 by 11. It will gonna give 12.
That's true. Good job. Bravo. For the ones who answered the chat, thank you so much. Good job. Right. Let's continue. Now I know how many electrons are there, how many protons are there, how many neutrons are there. Let's jump to the next step. If I know already, I have, let's say for sodium, I have 23 11. So I know, and then I have 11 electrons. how are these electrons distributed? How are they distributed? Yani, are all the 11 electrons found in the same place, or they are divided? Okay, this is the point. I need to know how the electrons are distributed. What do we call this? We call it electronic. We call it electronic distribution or electronic configuration. What do I mean by electronic configuration or electronic distribution? How the electrons are distributed inside my atoms. يعني here مثلا, let's say I have 11 electrons. طب how the electrons are distributed? Are they all in the same place? No, for sure. They are distributed in more than one shell. What you see here, these are called energy levels or energy shells. Not all of them, yani not all the 11 electrons are found in one place. They are divided on these energy shells. Oh, exactly, that's true. So I'm going to say, let's say if I'm talking about these energy shells, as I told you, this is the first energy shell, this is the second, this is the third, and then this is the fourth, and so on. Right. It's very important to know how the electrons is distributed inside my atom, because if you don't know this here, Christine, what will happen? You cannot understand all the coming topics. That's why I'm saying it's really important to understand all the next, to understand the next topic, you have to understand this. This is the basis. This is the basis for chemistry. Right. If I'm having lithium, let's say lithium is having 4 with 3. These are the numbers. As I said, I'm not going to check how many electrons do I have. I will use the small number. I'm not going to use the big number. طيب, the small number is 3. يبقى this means if it is 3, يبقى how the electrons are distributed. The first energy shell اللي هي this one.
The atomic mass 7. The atomic mass 7.
I'm not talking about atomic mass. I need this. I don't care about the atomic mass now. I need this.
First shell is full, second shell has 1 electron.
Exactly. Why did you say that?
Because it has the first shell only holds 2 electrons.
This is the point. As I told you, I'm putting any number. I put any number just because I want to check. Really, I need what? I need the small number. I don't need the big number. I just need the small number. Many times when I write مثلا sodium 2311, many times I find my students, they are using the 23. So please pay attention. I usually use the small number and not the big number. So once I will say 11 or whatever here, 50, 40, 60, whatever the number is, since it's bigger, but this is the mass number. I don't care about this. I usually use the small number. Right. As I said, the lithium, since it's 3, whatever the mass number is, I will not use. I need the small number. So the first shell is going to have how many electrons? Bravo, Nouri, good job. Exactly. The first shell cannot take more than 2. So the first shell, as you see, it's filled by 2 electrons. It cannot take more than 2. Then the second shell, and I still have how many electrons? All the lithium عنده 3 electrons. طب I took 2, but still how many electrons?
1.
1, that's true. So I will put 1. That's all. But it has for the first shell, it has here. Imagine this is lithium, يبقى عندها 2 electrons for the first shell, والsecond shell عندها 1, and that's all. طيب, if I'm going to say sodium 23 or whatever the number, I don't care, and down 11. طيب, I'm not going to use the 23. I don't care. Exactly. I'm not going to use the 23. I'm not going to talk about it. I will talk about the 11 to check the configuration of the 11, how the electrons are distributed. So what shall I do, بقى يا Abdullah? I will check. Good job, bravo. The first shell cannot take more than 2. طب the second shell cannot take more than 8. That's why I put 2, then I put 8. طيب, all this together they were 11. طب I put Yakunus 2 and 8. But still how many electrons are left?
1.
There is 1 more left.
Good job. Good job, Yanuri. That's true. يبقى 2, 8, 1. يبقى this means in the outer shell has how many electrons? 1 electron only. طيب, if I'm having aluminium, aluminium is 27 and 13. I don't care about this. I care about the small number, whatever. Even if I write for you aluminium like this, 13 or 27. Bardo, you will not care about this. Just care about the small number now because we are doing configuration. So if I'm writing aluminium 13, so what's the number? How I'm going to do it?
Can I say?
283.
I want to say something, but I think you are answering all the questions. We need the chance for others, if you don't mind. I know, mashallah, you're excellent, but we need to give the chance for others, Bardo, please. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. So 283. This means, why did I say 283? Because the first one will take 2. Then the second is going to take 8. Then the rest will be in the third shell. So that's why I'm going to say 283. Easy? Any question? Exactly, bro. Right. What about, sorry?
بس الألومنيوم transition metal.
No, aluminium is, I will tell you something. Aluminium is in group. What's your problem with aluminium?
لا بس يعني في مثل عناصر الاف اي الايرون والكوبر بالعاده بيكون في عندهم مثلا زياده positive charge كوبر 3 كوبر 2 كوبر 1.
I want to say something بس we didn't talk still about the transition metals. في some students here, they are first time to hear about the elements. Just step by step. Yes, that's true. What you said is true, but we are not going to talk about this now. I said this is in stoichiometry moles. I'm not going to talk about this now. You are right. But aluminium is not like them. Aluminium doesn't have more than one valency, like iron or copper. Yani copper, as you said, iron sometimes positive 2, sometimes positive 3. Copper sometimes positive 1 or sometimes positive 2. Aluminium is not like them. Okay, this is for your information. But now I'm not talking about this. But please, I don't want them to be confused, because now we are just starting atoms. Okay, especially for the ones who are the first time to listen to atoms. Thank you so much. So whatever, let's say calcium. If I want to write the configuration for calcium, so what's going to be my configuration? What do you think? First shell is 2. Then
The second shell is 8, and the third one is also 8, and the last one is 2.
good job. Right. Oh, by the way, this configuration, what we wrote, is not right 100%. Why? Because inshallah, if you take AS chemistry, you will know in the right one is 2, 8, 18. It's a different one. Okay, it's a different one. But for the ones, I know some students here, they know this. But that's why I'm saying this is called a very simple configuration. But inshallah, if you study next year AS chemistry, you will know there is one more developed configuration, or a better configuration, or a more accurate configuration. Layer 2, 8, 18. This is another one. But for now, we will just study this. Layer 2, 8, 8, 2. So the first one cannot put more than 2. That's why I put the 2. The second, I cannot put more than 8. And then the third and the fourth. Okay, exactly. Layer octet rule. Exactly. 2, 8, 18, 32. That's top. Not AS, but I know it. Good job, Yaruna. But not all the students, they know it. That's why. Type. What we did now, this is called electronic configuration. Or is there any other word? Yes. You can say electronic distribution. We take care about the word. Once, 2 years ago, I got a question. Write the electronic configuration. I don't remember the element, let's say for aluminium. Why write dots? It was a 1-mark question. Many students, they didn't answer it because they didn't know electronic distribution or electronic configuration is just to write a bracket and to write 283. So that's why, because they don't know the title. So please never forget the title so that you can know how to answer. Okay. Type. Let's talk. Not yes. Exactly. That's good, ya Mohamed. Mohamed Hani, that's good. Type. Yes, please.
طيب لو أنا في جريد 9 يعني لو كتبت مثلا الكونفيجريشن بتاعت أي إلكترون وكتبت 2818 ده يتحسب لي غلط ولا لازم أجيبه بالسم؟
No. I cannot say it's wrong because this is right for sure.
أوكي يعني عادي صح؟
Yes, طبعا. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. طيب, let's continue. Now the surprise is from the configuration that I did, I can locate the element in the periodic table. So how I can locate the element in the periodic table? 1 minute كده, I will share my periodic table. Okay, I will share it. Or I will show you. Once I will do the configuration, I can know where is my element. Yani I can locate the element just by the configuration.
Screen.
I'm sharing, wallah. Give me just 1 minute. I'm sharing my screen on the periodic table. If you don't mind, I'm going to get a better one because this is the IG one. That's why this is a better one. Okay, let's see. It's fine, ya Abdullah. That's good also. But this one I have here easy, so that's why. Okay, let's start. Now, what I'm going to talk about, if I'm asking you, where is sodium? Locate sodium for me. And I'm going to write for you in the sodium, the atomic number for sodium is 11. So how you can locate the sodium? In a very easy way, you are going to check how many. Exactly, ya Kunuz. True, correct.
How many shells and
correct, Justina or Abdullah Kunuz, bro. Good job. Exactly. I will make configuration. This is the first step. So 2, 8, 1. Then you will check the number in the outer shell, ya Arwa. The number in the outer shell 1. This means I am in which group? This means I'm in group 1. Take care. This one is called group 1. This one is group 2. This one is group 3. This group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7. This is group 8 or group 0. For the ones who doesn't know the periodic table. Take care. The periodic table is written in Latin, as you see here. If you check, you are going to find them in Latin. Yani it's not written 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything many years ago was written in Latin. Chemistry. Yes.
It's Roman, not Latin.
Roman, I mean. Yes, Roman. So with the group number, exactly, Abdullah, that's true. Exactly, Estina, that's true. The last number in the shell, exactly. That's true. All of you, mashallah, entering in the chat. I feel I want to focus in the PowerPoint. I'm checking the chat. mashallah, all of you are writing. مش عارفة ما افتحش الشات خايفة يبقى حد محتاج حاجة. that's why. والله all the time. يعني انت لو شفتي السكرين لما تشوفوا الريكورد هتلاقوا ان انا طول الوقت فاتحة الشات. It's fine. المهم since it was in Roman letters, that's why it looks like that. You have to know برضو إنه مثلا this is 4. You have to know إن this is 5. You have to know إن this is 6. You have to know إن this is 7. إن this is 8, and so on. طيب, what about the ones in the from left to right? What do we call this? اللي هي مثلا like this one. This is number 1. This is period 1. You take care. Many students. Sorry. Excuse me.
I was just answering.
Okay. So the first one, this is period 1. We take care. Many students, they start counting from here. Well, this is wrong. So I have to say, many students, they say, and this is period 1. No, this is wrong. Take care. This is period 1. اللي هي الهيدروجين والهيليوم. This is period 1. And then from left to right, this one, period 2. Then this.
Miss?
Yes. Then this 4. Yes.
Miss, the periods,
group 1.
5 to 6, I will tell you. Periods refer to the line from left to right. Group refer to the line or to the row. From
no, Miss,
down,
I mean the periods refers to the valence shell.
I will say
how many numbers in the valence shell.
Give me the chance, but yes, please. But some students, يا جماعة, I want to say very small, يعني notice كده. في students here in the class, it's the first time for them. في ناس grade 9, it's the first time for them to hear anything about the atom. فبس يعني خلينا كده شوية عشان إيه. They don't know anything about the atom. They don't know anything about the periodic table. يعني انتوا بتتكلموا على طول في details one by one. أنا الأول I'm explaining how is the periodic table working, and then I'm going to say how I make location. خلاص. فبليز بس give me the chance. حاضر يا رودي 1 minute بس. I will check why is هيدا. I will tell you يا عبد الله. حاضر. رقم 11. You will see, Rudi, حاضر. 1 minute, I will say. Once I'm going to start, as I told you, this is group 1. This is, sorry, period 1. Please never forget this. Why I'm saying, this is period 1. Sometimes he will ask you, مثلا, in period 3, answer the following element, or the following questions. Which element, Sharif, is used, مثلا, in aircraft? It's supposed to be aluminium, as an example. If you don't know, this was period 1, or this was period 2, or this was period 3, you will choose any element from period 2. فit's going to be wrong. So that's why you have to know, it's very important to know إنه period 1 was this one اللي هي الهيدروجين والهيليوم. And then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. طيب maybe someone will ask me, Miss, طب ما هو there is another 2 periods. لا, this is not periods. What about this? What's this? Starting from lanthanum till here, all these elements supposed to be here. You see, this one barium is 56. After it, 57 till 71. Then here 72. يعني all these elements supposed to be in this area. Lanthanoids. All these elements starting here, actinium till here, all these elements supposed to be there. But it's not a separate periods. لا, هم أصلاً these are here. But you will ask me, Miss, why did we put them down? Just for the appearance of the table to be a better appearance, but that's all. Okay? Type something else. You will ask me, Miss, what about these? They don't have a group numbers. No Roman word, no Roman letters, no Roman numbers are here. Why? Because the transition metals, they don't have a group. ما لهمش group numbers. That's why they are not going to work with the rule I will say now. Type. Some students are asking me why hydrogen is here. Hydrogen already عنده 1 electron. فالنورمال إنه يكون since إنه هو عنده 1 electron, النورمال إنه يكون it's here. Since إنه كل الليثيوم مثلا الليثيوم عنده 2 1, الصوديوم 2 8 1, البوتاسيوم 2 8 8 1 and so on. فsince إنه all group 1 ends with 1 electron, فالنورمال إنه الهيدروجين since إنه عنده 1 electron supposed to be in group 1. طب why it's written here? عشان الهيدروجين ده it's a non-metal. Okay, الهيدروجين is a non-metal. All group 1 are metals. You will tell me, Miss, why hydrogen is a non-metal? عشان already كل المetals are solid. والhydrogen is a gas. فhow come a gas, يعني how come a gas تبقى metal? Impossible. فهو it's a non-metal. That's why it's here alone. That's why it's not written here in group 1. Okay, this is for the ones who asked me in the chat. تمام؟ صح, correct. تمام. How don't even exactly how don't. تمام يا حمد. No. لا يا حمد. No. Take care. هيليوم هو اللي ترانزيشن، هيليوم هو اللي نوبل جاز مش هيدروجين. Take care. الهيليوم النوبل جازز اللي هم جروب 8. هيليوم هو اللي هو النوبل جاز مش هيدروجين. Take care. It's fine. It's fine. كلنا عادي يا حمد. ما انا هو عماله برضه sometimes I to be quick sometimes we make mistakes عادي يعني. مع ان احنا الكلام ده مثلا ممكن نكون we explained it مثلا more than 100 times. بس عادي مع when you say something quickly sometimes you make mistakes normal يعني. طيب let's start بقى location. Now I will check the location of sodium. Sodium is 11. يبقى 2 8 1. Step 1 you will check the elements اللي في outer shell. It will indicate what? Excuse me?
It's in the first group.
Exactly. It's going to be in the group 1. أهو. طيب. But I need to know, is it in period 1 ولا period 2 ولا period 3? What are you going to do بقى يا كنوز? You will check how many shells do I have. If you check هنا هنلاقي 2 8 1 يعني I used 3 shells. Since إن أنا I used 3 shells يبقى this means إن أنا I'm in period إيه يا عبد الله؟ I'm in period 3. طب تعالوا كده let's check. Period 1, period 2, period 3, and group 1, so it's here. يبقى now my location is correct. Good job. طيب, let's take another element. Let's take aluminium. 13, 2, 8, 3. We take care. If you make the configuration wrong, so the location will be wrong. But take care. طيب, here I have the outer shell 3. يبقى this means I'm in group 3. Since now I have 3 shells, 2, 8, 3. يبقى this means I'm in which period?
3.
Good job. Welcome to learn. صح يا كنو. Good job. 3. So I'm going to say I'm in period A, I'm in period 3. طب let's check. Group 1, group 2, group 3 وperiod وgroup 3 sorry period 3 وgroup 3 أو group 3 aluminium is here. يبقى my work is 100% correct. طيب let's take another element. I have calcium. I have calcium 40 or 20. As I said before, forget about this one. I will not use it now. 20. So it is 2, 8, 8, 2. 2. يبقى here I'm in group 2. How many shells do I have? يبقى this means I'm in period 4. يبقى I'm in period 4 يعني 1 2 3 4 و I'm in group 2 يبقى this is group 2. That's why it's calcium here. يبقى usually the period, to know the period you are going to know how many shells are there. To know the group you are going to talk about the outer we call this valency electrons or outer shell electrons. These are called valency electrons اللي هم الالكترونز يقروا اللي في الاوتر shell. You can call them outer shell electrons or valency electrons. Both are correct. Okay? No يا نوري. Hydrogen لا, hydrogen is different than group 1 خالص. Hydrogen بس since إن هو عنده 1 electron, that's why sometimes you will find it in some periodic tables في group 1. بس take care الهيدروجين non metal و completely different عن كل ال properties بتاعت group 1. Take care. Okay? Any question? Tell me. Easy? I cannot hear you. Is it easy?
Very easy.
Yes, miss.
لا برضه
Yes,
I
miss, it's
cannot
very
hear you.
simple.
I cannot hear you. I will say it once. Is it easy? All together.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss. I don't want to shout because my throat hurts.
Okay. No, I don't want you to shout. Yeah. طيب, how to know an element from electronic distribution? Oh, this is a very good question يا محمد. برافو عليك. طيب, تعالوا نشوف الكويستشن بتاع محمد. محمد is asking an excellent question. He is saying how to know an element from the distribution. يعني let's say لو أنا جبت لك الconfiguration 28, let's say مثلا 287 as an example, 287, and I'm asking you what is the element. So what you're going to do, you will count these together. 2 و 8 و 7 يبقى this means it's 17. What you count, this is the atomic number. So you will search in all the periodic table, all the elements, which element عندها atomic number 17. بس which element have atomic number 17?
Chlorine.
برافو يا عبد الله. Correct. Oh. This is how you can identify an element بس by using ايه؟ الatomic number. Okay? ماشي. يلا, let's continue. The last part in this topic is going to talk about isotopes. Isotopes, they are atoms of the same elements, but they have something that's very weird. إيه بقى؟ إن they found إنه some in hydrogen مثلا, let's say some of the hydrogen they are hydrogen 1 some of the hydrogen is hydrogen 2 some of the hydrogen is 3 يعني not all. طبعا هو الهيدروجين اللي I have in the periodic table is this one اللي هو hydrogen 1 but they found إنه some elements some elements they are hydrogen 1 as I said, وhydrogen 2 وhydrogen is 3 1 minute best to check the chat. Exactly صح. Correct. برافو. So the three of them هم already all of them they are isotopes. But the difference is إنه all of them they have the same atomic number. But what's different? الماس number هو اللي ايه different. يعني all of them عندهم الatomic number بتاعهم 1. بس الماس number هو اللي different. Here it's 1 electron. Here it's 2 electrons. Here it's 3 electrons. يبقى when I ask you what are isotopes? هتقولوا لي الquestion ده عليه 2 marks. هتقولوا لي it is atoms of the same element having same atomic number. so all of them عندهم same atomic number. بس ايه اللي different mass number اهو. These are the mass number are all different. يبقى they have same atomic number but they have different mass number. Any question? Easy?
Yes, easy.
Okay, that's great. طيب في 2 questions كده دايما بيجوا في past papers. عبد الله الأينز we are going to take next class إن شاء الله. الأينز ده في ionic bond next class إن شاء الله. طيب something else I want to add before we finish إنه في question دايما بيجي في past paper. He will ask you why isotopes of the same element have the same chemical properties. So what I'm going to say يعني مثلا let's say عندي chlorine 17 وchlorine 17. One of them is 35 the isotope, one of them 37. يعني 287 و 287. if he asks you why both of them they have the same chemical properties, it's a 2-mark question. What are you going to say? هنقول because both of them they have what? the same electrons in the outer shell. Since ان الاثنين كلورين عندهم نفس الالكترونز اللي في الاوتر شell يبقى this means they will react similarly. يعني whatever مثلا هيعملوا lose هيعملوا gain whatever they are going to do, the all chlorine they are going to do the same thing. That's why when he asks you what does why all isotopes of the same element عندهم same chemical properties, you have to say because they have the same electrons in the outer shell. You have to say in the outer shell. If you didn't say in the outer shell لو قلنا same electrons only you will take 1 mark. لازم أقول same electrons in the outer shell. طيب something else I want to say. لو قال لي في الايزوتوبس why all isotopes اللي يثبت يعني proof انه both chlorine are it's the same ان هم it's the same atom. اللي يثبت انه فعلا انه مش ده مثلا كلورين وده ايودين بس. يعني from where do you know انه both are chlorine؟ عشان both of them they have what? Same proton number. معنى ان الكلورين ده 17 وthis chlorine also 17 يبقى اكيد it's the same element. Am I right? Exactly يا نوري صح. Since ان هم عندهم نفس البروتون نمبر او الاتوميك نمبر يبقى اكيد it's the same element for sure. Okay? Easy? Great.
Yeah.
That's all for today. Inshallah next class I'm going to revise quickly on the isotopes as a quick revision. I'm going to give you the uses for isotopes and then we are going to start. يعني this is almost the first topic بتاع atom. Next class I'm going best to revise on isotopes لأن الisotopes is a very important part. I'm going to give you inshallah ionic bond next Wednesday inshallah at the same time.
teacher
Yes dear, tell me.
ممكن بس سؤال أخير.
Sure.
لو مثلا قلنا إن الكربون هنخليه 2 بعد كده 8 في الهول configuration 2 8 بعدين 18. طب لو عملناهم في السيمبل فورم هيكونوا 4 هيكونوا مش 18 بقى هيكون 8.
ما هو that's why انت make it بالنورمال واي اللي احنا بنعمله.
طب ايه هي الطريقة بتاعت النورمال واي عشان انا عارفة
اللي هي 2 8 عادي نعملها عادي 2 8 18 sorry 2 8 8
they can attain stability.
Exactly. Well, I want to tell you something. If he's going to give you any element, it's not going to be a hard one. It's going to be one of the easy one. يعني don't worry. It's really حبيبتي يا كنوز thank you. as I told you يعني I don't want you to be worried إنه usually elements اللي he's going to ask me to locate دايما بيبقوا elements من elements easy ones يعني. حبيبتي يا ألوة thank you. Okay.
يعني مش هنعمل 2n square صح؟ اللي هي الفورمولا دي.
لا it's not going to work with it. I know يا رونا والله I know. صح يا عبد الله good job about the dating. That's true. Okay, that's all for today. See you inshallah next class. Thank you so much. We'll have a great weekend. For the ones who have vacation next week, thank you so much. We'll have a great vacation next week for the ones who have vacation. Thank you يا نوري حبيبتي. Thank you so much. As I told you, Runa, she put for you the WhatsApp groups and she put for you the telegrams. I'm going to put the link inshallah today. Once I will finish my classes at night, I will put the link for this class. Well, I'm going to put the no vacation. Okay, I'm going to put the link for the class for the record. Well, I'm going to send you the PDF so that maybe if anyone need to study it, I'm going to send it. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll have a great
Thank
weekend.
you, ma'am. Have a nice
You're most
day.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Have a great day. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Abdullah.
For next session, when we're doing ions, I have like a sheet where it shows like the positive ions and the negative ions, their charges.
Great. It's
Is it
fine.
okay if I share it like next
Sure.
lesson? So
Sure.
like okay.
Yes, sure. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Have a nice day.
You're most welcome. You too, dear. You too. Bye.